were you talking about?
Helen Foster.
Welcome to a special episode of the Fiend Zone here on Horror Fiend TV. As you can tell, no green screen because I didn't have time, and honestly, I just wanted to jump in and talk about this film that I just finished watching. Yes, we are talking about the 2025 film written and directed by Steve Cognetti, who created the Hell House LLC. Now, I love the Hell House LLC, but I'll be honest with you, sometimes they're hits. Sometimes they're in the middle, but we love found footage horror, especially this guy. And I'm looking forward to talk about this one in particular because, well, before I get into it, the fact that this film is an 18 plus rating, kind of, but I'll get to that later because I do have some bones to pick about that. But I wanted to keep it spoiler free, but honestly, I don't because this is why we're going to talk about this film. Now, this film was, like I said, written by Steve Cognetti, and I give him credit because to get out of your comfort zone of found footage horror and go into a regular style horror movie, which you have some small glimpses of the found footage genre we all love, but I give him credit for attempting to do something out of his comfort zone. But yes, let's talk about this film because the cast includes Joe Falcone as Chuck, Elizabeth Vermelia as Maria, and Catherine Miller as Isabella. Now, this film is about after family tragedy. Chuck and Isabella move to Ashland Falls with with his sister, who happened to be in the tragic car accident which cost the life of their mother. Now, kind of weird the fact that, Chuck was around much, and the fact that his wife did not know that he had a sister to 3 months ago is kind of a fucked up thing to do. But hey, we all know how family is sometimes. But fast forward, they move into the Ashland Falls to start a fresh start and a new life. But this town has a malevolent entity that seems to haunt this town. Now, as time goes, yes, we find our characters getting involved in this typical haunting. But what makes this unique is the fact that the whole town is part of or feeling the effects of this haunting. So let's give a little bit of a backstory. The main villain, or you could say villain, because when you listen to the story, you wonder if she was really a villain, but understand as a parent what she did. I'm not condoning her behavior, but Ellen Foster is the entity that haunts this town. Her child, Mary, was bullied in school, and during the process, she sent letters, even contacted the parents of the bullies to stop her daughter from being picked on. Unfortunately, the school did not respond to these worries from a parent, and the child committed suicide. In anger and rage, Mary was the only child to Helen Foster, and this mother goes on a rampage and kills the bully and the parents, and then pulls a shotgun, ends her life. Well, this entity now haunts this town, and what I did like about the fact that the way they did it is the whole town felt the presence. So, at any moment in the film, when the presence of Helen Foster was present, the town people went home. They want nothing to do because of the fact that when she appears, bad things happen. So now let's go into Chuck, Mary, and Isabella. Now this film breaks down into certain chapters because this is a slow burn, but the pace of it is done to give a little bit character development to each film. So chapter one, we start with Chuck. Chapter two, we go into Maria. Chapter three, Isabella, and then chapter four, well, the road itself. Now, what I did not like about this film, I'm going to be honest right up from the get go, is the rating was an 18 plus. It actually felt like I was watching a PG 13 film because A lot of the kills, well, the minimum kills we get in this film were done off screen. Now, I'm sorry, but if you have a malevolent entity, at least have one or two scenes where we get to see this entity lash out and make an example out of people. But unfortunately, we did not get to see on screen kills. Everything was done off screen. Now, let me ask you a question. If you moved into a town where you found out there's a malevolent entity haunting this town, wouldn't you get the hell out of there? But being this is horror, this is what horror does. People tend to stay. Dumb decisions make horror movies. That's the honest truth. But they decided to stay. But during their decision to stay, Chuck and Maria start investigating a little bit more about Helen Foster. Now, this is where I feel there's a plot hole in this film. The fact that the whole thing is people need to find the house, 825 Forest Road, where Ellen Foster lived. This whole movie's premise is finding this house. But here's the reason I tell you there is a massive plot hole. Because the fact is, once you find the house, what do you do with it? We never got to find out. They make it to the house, but what do you do when you get to the house? What is there to stop this entity from killing people? This is where the film kind of falters. Now, not for nothing, the ending kind of makes you feel they're going to come out with a sequel to this film. I have some creative advice. If you're going to do a sequel to this film, definitely do the backstory of Ellen Foster. I think the backstory of Ellen Foster, to see what she went through, to see what happened, especially what happened with Mary, would ground this story even more. And I see that you do want to do another franchise. So if you have this Ellen Foster character, which is an interesting character because of that backstory, but mannequins. Now we know Hell House LLC has those clowns, and we love those clowns. We love the movement. Those clowns were so freaking scary, and they barely moved, but every time they moved, freaked us out. So in this film, we have Martha, who is a mannequin used by Isabella during her video blog, where she teaches everybody how to, sew, does dresses, does sweaters. But this is what I did like about this film, and I'm glad that Steve decided to bring this into this film too. Is the scenes with Marsha were actually the best scenes in this whole film, and I kind of wanted more of a founded Marsha, and I kind of liked the fact that Ellen Foster was using Marsha to torment the people in this house. I mean, think about it. Freaking mannequin was outside playing at times. They're constantly moving around. But there's a one scene where Isabella's doing her video blogging. Just watch it. Watch Martha behind. I thought that was a very well done scene in this film. But yes, I'm going to give this film, I was going to give it a low rating, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't a bad film. It had plot holes. I understand what they were trying to do, but I feel like if they would have went to that TVMA, this film would hit harder. As far as jump scares, there's a couple here and there. I mean, if you're accustomed to Hell LLC, you're accustomed to some of the jump scares in this film. But I feel like, once again, if it was TVMA, the jump scares could have hit harder and the kill scenes would have been a lot better. But watch this film. It is currently streaming on AMC Plus, Shudder, and just give it a watch. I give credit to a filmmaker who's willing to go out their comfort zone and create something different in you. Now, Steve, suggestion, like I said, second film, to the backstory of Ellen Foster, because that will be a very powerful film if you do the same pacing as far as character development on the Ellen Foster character and the daughter Mary. This film, watch it. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I had to jump in, talk about this film. 3 out of 5. Wasn't gonna ask the fellas if they want to do it, but I figured, hey, let me watch it first, because just in case they didn't like it, they won't blame this guy. I might be a villain, but I try to shy away from bad films, even though gotta review bad films from time to time. But till next time, this is JR, the Fiend Zone, Horror Fiend TV. Like, subscribe, share, and yes, don't forget, this Thursday we're on live stream, as we're gonna go back and talk about Stephen King's Cat's Eye. I love that anthology series of that one. And come on, it has very great horror movie icons / actors. Yes, watch it. Let us know what you think about that. Jump on that live stream. Come on, join us. We want to hear more from you. And we wanted your input as far as what other live streams you want us to do. So till next time, JR, live stream, watch us, like, subscribe, share, more coming your way. And yes, have a good one. Peace.